While it likely won't break records like Endgame did, we still want Marvel's Avengers to succeed. However, we have some concerns that might prevent the upcoming game from living up to its full potential. This is why we're worried about Marvel's Avengers. Marvel has a long history with its characters. Iron Man has been around since the early 1960s, and Captain America is 20 years his senior. Arguably, though, these heroes became mainstream thanks to Marvel Studios. Now, Robert Downey Jr. practically is Tony Stark, and Chris Evans has become synonymous with Steve Rogers. In the reveal of Marvel's Avengers, we gotta look at a new interpretation of the heroes, and they look eerily familiar, yet slightly off in a weird uncanny valley kind of way. That sort of makes sense though, as none of the MCU actors are playing their video game counterparts. Instead, for example, we have the voice work of Nolan North and Jeff Shine to look forward to in the roles of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, respectively.
Thor, Tony, check it out. At once. Try to keep up.
Unfortunately, memories of the Infinity Saga are still fresh. For every good line North reads, we'll be wondering how RDJ would have delivered the same material. Marvel's Avengers will live under the shadow of the wildly successful movies, especially since the lineup of heroes just happens to be nearly identical. From the start, we'll always be comparing the game to one of the most successful film franchises on the planet. Most superheroes wear masks, but we can often still tell who lurks under them. We know Tony Stark is underneath Iron Man's red and yellow helmet. Unfortunately, there's something awkward and distracting about Iron Man in Marvel's Avengers that we can't help but notice, helmet or not.
Alright, which one of you B-movie extras shot at me?
Prolific voice actor Nolan North voices Iron Man in this incarnation of the Avengers. If you've played a lot of games, you've likely played one with him in it. He's in practically everything after all. One of his most iconic roles in gaming is none other than Nathan Drake, the star of Sony's Uncharted series. Nate quips as often as he mows down baddies. He might not share Tony's intellect for technology, but the two have a knack for cocky confidence in the face of danger.
Oh, careful now. Wouldn't want you to melt.
Their similar personalities mesh really well, almost too well. During the Iron Man segments of gameplay, there are moments where he sounds just like Nate. We enjoy North's work as much as the next big fan, but the similarities distract us from fully buying into Iron Man's story. Square Enix, publisher of Marvel's Avengers, claims this game will be a cinematic, story-driven experience. After all, as the MCU has proven, these superheroes can carry a compelling story on their backs. However, Marvel's Avengers, at its core, presents two different types of gameplay. On one hand, you have hero missions. These single-player experiences focus on specific characters, and they push the narrative forward in some way. On the other hand, you have Warzone levels, which let you play with up to 3 other friends to farm for resources and gear. Considering Square Enix's belief in Marvel's Avengers' years-long lifespan, it's starting to sound more and more like a live service game. Instead of experiencing that allegedly captivating narrative that Crystal Dynamics has planned, players might be more invested in getting the best loot for their favorite heroes. In other words, the story of Marvel's Avengers could fall to the wayside. Instead, people will care more about how to get to that legendary item or how to level up faster. That's what happened to Destiny in its story in the face of the cooperative hunt for loot. Speaking of which, Marvel's Avengers clearly aims to deliver a cinematic, narrative-driven experience. The trailers are full of suspense and intrigue, like most comic book stories. However, the developers and publisher have pushed another marketing angle that drowns out any semblance of an interesting story. At the end of the day, Crystal Dynamics is developing a game with co-op missions that reward players with loot that has quote-unquote gear levels tagged onto them. Heroes can then be customized both via cosmetics and gear, along with expansive skill trees. On top of all that, you can purchase more skins after release, and you can expect more skins to join the years of post-launch content the developer has planned. Any way you slice it, this sounds like a live service game. Yet, Crystal Dynamics most recently garnered fame through its work on the story-heavy Tomb Raider 2013 reboot and its subsequent sequels. Now the developer has suddenly started working with all these live service mechanics, and you have to wonder if it's all just for the money. Games as a service has been a trend for years now, and it looks like Crystal Dynamics is chasing that same glory. At New York Comic Con 2019, Crystal Dynamics revealed the newest character to join the Marvel's Avengers roster. Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, will be the 6th playable hero in the game. Furthermore, she'll play a leading role in the story, as she's the reason the team reassembles 5 years after the catastrophe.
What if the Avengers were set up? AIM, the so-called cure? It's just not lining up. There's something wrong and I can feel it.
Now, some of you might be wondering who she is, and that's what worries us the most. Kamala only recently joined the Marvel canon, with her first appearance dating back to 2013. Compared to the storied histories of Thor or the Hulk, she doesn't have much going for her, especially in mainstream recognition. Kamala will get a TV show on Disney Plus soon. Unfortunately, as it stands now, she doesn't have a decade of blockbuster movies under her belt. Fans might be more eager to play as the rest of the Avengers, overshadowing the game's protagonist. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SVG videos about upcoming game releases are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.